Hello, loves. Welcome back to another episode of the Veronica Ramos podcast. It's Veronica, your host. Thank you for coming back to another episode today. Today, we are jumping right to it. Today, I'm talking about habits and things that women on the top 1% do. And this is not about being better than anybody else. It's about becoming the version of you that doesn't play small anymore, and things that have helped me as well with me building a 7-figure business, being a mom while doing it. These things are crucial for you to grow in so many ways, grow financially. It helps you show up better in the world. It helps you, your energy, your results. So yeah, I'm excited for today's episode. The first one is she makes power decisions without waiting for permission. You are not waiting around for validation from nobody. If you start asking people that you want to do something and their opinion, they're going to tell you their opinion without them knowing facts, without them knowing anything of it. Do things not needing validation. There's always going to be people that are going to try to tell you like, no, that's not a good idea. Maybe you shouldn't do that. It's not safe. And it's not that they don't want you to like improve in your life. They just don't know any better. And so do not wait for validation from anybody when you want to do something. Research it yourself. Look into it yourself before you start asking around. Also, she's moving fast. There's not taking months and months to make a decision. Make the decision, fail if you fail, but do it, try it, and don't take super long making a decision. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. At least you tried it, but you're moving on. You're not thinking about it for months. We think fast. One big thing for me in my life where it was the first huge thing for me, and it was hiring an assistant. I remember thinking, wow, like it's a lot of money. I remember like I need an assistant. I remember the exact moment that I was like, I need an assistant. I cannot do this by myself. I was at the Starbucks line just trying to get a little Starbucks. It was early in the morning and I couldn't. Like everybody was blowing my phone. I needed to be like in 3 different places all at the same time. My husband at the time wasn't into real estate, so it's not like he could have gone. He was working and I just didn't have enough time in the day. Like I was working from morning till like 3 in the morning. Me acuerdo, I would have a Red Bull like this big next to me working at 3 in the morning. I had no assistant. I had no transaction coordinator helping me with the contracts. I was doing everything by myself. And I would always hear like, if I'm a lot into like Tom Ferry, I would always hear like your first move should be an assistant. You're going to grow a lot when you get an assistant. But I would be like, no, I don't need an assistant. I can handle everything. I can do it all myself. But then I remember that exact moment in Starbucks that I was like, no, like it's actually really smart, and all the top people, the top producers have an assistant and have help. And if you want to grow, like you need one, because there was things that I was doing like paperwork that wasn't even like helping me. It was just dreading me. And obviously there's a point where like that's okay, because like what else are you doing with your time? Like you're not going to hire someone if like you don't need them. But I needed them. So I remember I was like, oh God, like I talked to my coach. I had a coach and I'm like, I need an assistant. Like, and he's like, yes, you do. And so it was something that I didn't really want to ask around a lot, especially like with my husband or with family. Like I was like, I know that they're going to say like, you swear, or they're just not going to understand because they don't get it. They don't get the bigger picture that I would need to delegate things so that I can sell more homes, because I was spending time running to put flyers on a lockbox. Like that does not make you any money, where I could be making phone calls because I'm good at converting people and good at talking to people, where that was taking me like an hour, and that's like 5 phone calls I could have made where I would have made a lot more money, if that makes sense. But my husband wasn't into real estate. He had never had a business. So I knew that he wouldn't understand. And so I made a decision of like, it's my money, it's my funds. If it doesn't work out, then it doesn't work out, but I'm willing to take that that risk. And so I did. I hired my first assistant. I was scared as shit because that means you have to pay someone and you cannot not pay them. Like it's an actual job, So that was like so scary. I trusted myself. I did not ask permission or validation from anybody because I knew the bigger picture, and I knew that if I started asking, they were going to be like, why do you need an assistant? Like you could save all that money, but they don't get that you would make more money. Anyways, that's a story for you on how that is. The next one is she builds things that don't rely on her being liked. I am huge on being myself, first of all. And also I am who I am. Obviously, I'm mindful of who I am and I try to not hurt anybody. I have good intentions and all of that. But I do have a stronger personality. I'm not mean. There's boundaries there too. I sincerely have the best wishes for everyone. But I'm not the type of person that is going to be walking around trying to be liked by everyone. If I don't feel that connection with you, I'm going to be professional. I'm going to be nice. I'm going to be kind, but I do not need to be friends with everybody. That's something that's just, I've learned, and maybe it's not the right way, but that's just, what I am. I'm not the type of person that is trying to be soft at all times and be super liked by everyone. I am who I am and I'm professional, and that those women are not walking around trying to be liked by everyone. You're gonna hurt feelings because you give honest feedback. Some people will misunderstand you, but that's just what it is. But that's that. The next one is she runs towards discomfort, not away from it. This one, you guys know, if you listen to my podcast, I'm huge on doing things that make you uncomfortable because that's where growth is. And so those women have hard conversations with whatever it is in their business. If people don't want to hear that, it sucks, but we're going to give you the honest answer. We're not going to sugarcoat it. They're also very, very transparent. They're not there to be liked. They're there to get results, to add value. And so that's that. And also comfort. They understand that comfort is their biggest trap. Once they start feeling too comfortable, they panic because they're obviously not pushing themselves and they're never wanting to feel comfortable, always want a challenge or something that they're working towards. Okay, so the next one is she chooses peace over proving herself. They understand that people think differently and not everybody thinks like them. They have a whole different mindset in life because they're always improving themselves and they read and they're, in self-development mode. So a lot of people will not understand their views, they'll just be misunderstood a lot because of that, because they're just not the typical type of person. But that's that. Okay, so the next one is she uses her money as a tool, not just a flex. She's investing her money, she's saving her money, she's hiring to scale or doing things to scale her business. And by investing, she's buying properties. She's not just going through life spending all her money, but like building wealth. She's serious about wealth. She still likes to spend some money, but investing is really important. But that's another one. The next one is she owns her story. She's unapologetically herself and does not disqualify herself because of her upbringing or her past or anything like that. And so it fuels. She's not afraid of her background. She's not afraid where she came from. She owns it and she does not care what anybody thinks. And the last one is she protects her peace like none other. This one is huge. Your surroundings, who you hang around with, you guys know it's so important. Those women protect their peace so much. They're not going to be hanging around with people that gossip. Even their family, if their family is toxic, they're reducing the amount of time they see them. You can put things in your calendar. There's people I've seen where it's like they just say, okay, I'm meeting my mom just this time every week or day and they completely prepare themselves for that. Not their mom or a family member or whatever, but they protect their peace a lot. They don't have friends that drain them. They are selective with their friends. They are very careful with what events they go to, who they're surrounding with. They're not oversharing way too much with just anybody. They're just very selective. And yeah, that's that. For me, I am very, very careful on where I go, the places I hang out with. I don't do anything that I don't want to do. Like, I will not go for obligation somewhere just because I feel like I have to go. Yeah, but I think just protecting your peace will get you so far in life, because it's crazy how your energy can change by hanging around with someone. You could be having such an amazing day and then you hang out with someone and it's like you need the whole day to recover, or you just feel drained after. So, but yeah, you guys, that is it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode and I hope it was helpful in any way. Do not wait to step into yourself and who you want to be, and talk to you guys next week.